what your dog is really trying to say when they sleep next to you. Every night, when your dog quietly climbs onto the bed and curls up beside you, most people think something simple. They just like sleeping here. Wrong. If warmth and comfort were the only reasons, your dog could sleep on the couch, the carpet, or any soft corner in the house. But in the end, they still choose you. And that means far more than most people realize. To a dog, sleep is not just rest. It is the moment of greatest vulnerability. In the wild, an animal that falls asleep in the wrong place might never wake up again. That survival instinct never fully disappeared from dogs, even now. Even inside safe homes. A part of their brain still understands, when I sleep, danger can appear at any moment. That's why the place your dog chooses to sleep matters so much. When your dog sleeps beside you, they are saying, "This is where I feel safest." It's not just affection, it's trust, it's emotional bonding, it's an instinct built over thousands of years. Dogs descended from wolves, and wolves survived by sleeping close together. They protected each other, kept each other warm, stayed alert together. So when your dog sleeps beside you today, you are no longer just the person who feeds them. You are family. You are their safe place. Science has shown that when dogs stay close to someone they deeply trust, their bodies release oxytocin, the hormone connected to love, bonding, and emotional safety. The same hormone found between parents and children. That means the connection between dogs and humans is far deeper than most people think. And your dog's sleeping position reveals even more. If they sleep against your back, they may instinctively feel like they are protecting you. If they sleep near your feet, they are placing themselves where they can react quickly. If they sleep facing the door, a part of them is still standing guard. And if they press tightly against your body, your presence is emotionally calming their nervous system. Every position tells a story. Most humans just never notice. And here's something even more fascinating. Over time, dogs begin emotionally syncing with the people they love. They learn your breathing patterns, your movements, your emotional energy. That's why dogs often know something is wrong before you say a single word. They notice changes in your breathing, tension in your body, shifts in your voice, your stress levels, even emotional energy. Many dogs become more attached when their owner is sad or stressed. Not because someone trained them, because emotionally bonded dogs naturally monitor the people they love. To your dog, you are not just part of their life, you are part of their emotional stability. And honestly, that's what makes dogs so special. They do not care about your money, your appearance, or your status. They care about how safe they feel with you. That's why even old, sick, or struggling owners are still deeply loved by their dogs. Because to a dog, love is emotional safety. So tonight, when your dog curls up beside you, don't just think, "They like sleeping here." No, they are really saying, "You are the place where I feel safest in the world." And honestly, that may be one of the purest forms of love any living creature can give. Your dog is synchronizing to your emotions. There's something happening every single night between you and your dog that most owners never notice. And it goes far beyond affection. When your dog sleeps close
From the
to
nose
you,
travels
their body
instantly to
slowly
the brain.
begins syncing
Here,
with yours.
billions of neurons
Not just
process the
emotionally,
signal at incredible
biologically.
speed.
Did you
An
know that
electric
petting
pulse
your
Studies
dog
for
show
just
that
10
when
minutes
dogs
can
stay near
significantly
someone they
reduce their
deeply trust,
cortisol levels?
their cortisol levels begin
Science
to drop.
proves that mutual
When
Cortisol
stress
is the body's
strikes,
main
your
stress
body
hormone.
triggers a flood
The
of
chemical
cortisol.
connected to
This
anxiety,
vital hormone
fear,
alters your entire
stress,
system.
emotional tension.
It pushes your
But here's the fascinating part. The exact same thing happens to humans too. When your dog sleeps against you, when you hear their slow breathing beside you, when you touch their fur at night, your own nervous system starts calming down. Your breathing slows, your heart rate softens, your body quietly shifts out of stress mode. Without even realizing it, you and your dog are emotionally regulating each other. Night after night, over time your dog begins memorizing you, not your words, your emotional patterns. They learn how you breathe when relaxed, how you move when tired, how your energy changes when something feels wrong. That's why many dogs know their owner is upset before a single word is spoken. You can walk into the room pretending everything is fine, and your dog already knows it isn't. Because dogs do not read humans through language the way humans read each other. They study scent changes, breathing patterns, muscle tension, movement speed, tone shifts, emotional energy. And after sleeping beside you for months or years, your dog builds an emotional map of who you are. That's why emotionally bonded dogs often become more attached during stressful periods. Some refuse to leave their owner alone. Some quietly lie nearby. Some constantly watch them. Not because they were trained to, because emotionally connected dogs naturally monitor the well-being of the people they love. To your dog, you are not just the person who provides food. You are part of their emotional stability. And honestly, most humans completely underestimate how deep that connection really is. If your dog always seems to know when something feels wrong, it's because they probably do. Your dog thinks they have a job to do. Pay attention to where your dog sleeps beside you, because that position is almost never random. Some dogs sleep near your feet, some press against your back, some position themselves facing the bedroom door, and most owners assume, my dog just sleeps wherever they want. Not exactly. Dogs may live in modern homes now, but their brains still carry ancient survival instincts. In the wild, sleep was never completely safe, even while resting. Someone in the pack stayed alert, watching movement, listening for danger, protecting the others. And even though your dog now sleeps inside a warm house, part of their nervous system still operates from those instincts. That's why many dogs unconsciously choose positions that allow them to monitor entrances, stay physically connected to you, or react quickly if something changes during the night. A dog sleeping near the door is often monitoring the entry point. A dog pressed against your back may instinctively feel like they are protecting your blind side. A dog near your feet places itself where movement can happen fastest. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But instinct does not care whether danger is real or not. Instinct only cares about preparation. Deep inside your dog's brain, there is still a survival system saying, this human is part of my pack. Stay close, stay alert. And here's what makes it even more incredible. Most dogs do this naturally. Nobody trains them to quietly guard the room while their owner sleeps. Nobody teaches them emotional protection. It happens through bonding. That's why emotionally attached dogs often sleep lighter near their owners. Small sounds wake them faster. Unexpected movement catches their attention immediately. Part of their brain stays alert, even while resting, because in their mind they are not simply sleeping beside you, they are watching over you. And honestly, most people never realize how serious dogs are about protecting the ones they love. To your dog, you are not just a human. You are family, and protecting family is one of the oldest instincts they have. Every sleeping position reveals something emotional. Most people think dogs simply sleep in whatever position feels comfortable. But once you understand canine psychology, you realize something surprising. The way your dog sleeps beside you often reflects how emotionally safe they feel around you. Every position tells a different story. Let's start with the curled position. When your dog curls into a tight ball, nose tucked close to the body, that is one of the oldest survival positions in the animal world. It protects vital organs, conserves warmth, and keeps the body guarded. Emotionally, it often means, I trust this place, but part of me is still cautious. Now compare that to a dog, sleeping completely stretched out, legs extended, body loose, belly exposed. That is a completely different level of trust, because biologically, the stomach is one of the hardest areas to defend during danger. A dog would never expose it around someone they truly distrusted. That's why dogs sleeping fully relaxed beside their owners are often emotionally secure dogs. Their nervous system truly believes, nothing bad is going to happen here. And then there's the position many people misunderstand the most. When your dog turns their back toward you while sleeping. Some owners think, they're ignoring me. Actually, it means the opposite. In canine behavior, turning their back toward someone is a major sign of trust. It means, I don't feel the need to monitor you. That is emotional safety, not distance. And finally, there are the dogs that sleep pressed tightly against their owner, against your chest, against your legs, against your back, sometimes so close it almost seems uncomfortable. But emotionally, that physical contact matters deeply. Your heartbeat calms them, your breathing calms them, your presence helps regulate their nervous system. To some dogs, physical closeness literally feels like emotional protection. And honestly, this is why losing a dog feels so painfully empty for many people. Because over time, They stopped feeling like just a pet. They became part of the emotional rhythm of your life itself. Your dog changed their entire routine for you. There's something incredible about dogs, something most owners never stop to think about. Your dog's natural biological rhythm was never designed to match yours. Long before dogs lived inside human homes, their ancestors were most active during sunrise, sunset, nighttime movement, and periods of alertness. Their bodies evolved for survival. Not office schedules, not alarms, not late-night screens and artificial lights. And yet somehow, your dogs slowly adjusted their entire life around you. They wake up when you wake up, wait near the door before you arrive home, recognize your footsteps, your keys, your car, even tiny routines you no longer notice yourself. That is not coincidence. That is emotional adaptation. Bonded dogs slowly reshape their internal rhythm around the people they love. Over time, your dog memorizes your patterns so deeply that your routine becomes part of theirs. That's why many dogs react minutes before their owner comes home. Not because they can read clocks, but because they have memorized environmental changes, sounds, smells, timing patterns, and routines connected to you. And honestly, that level of attention is incredible. Think about it. Your dog spends years quietly studying your existence, learning when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're about to leave, when you're coming back, when bedtime is near, and when something emotionally feels different. Most humans barely pay attention to each other anymore. Meanwhile, your dog notices changes in your breathing pattern. That's how deeply bonded dogs observe the people they love. And here's something even more emotional. Dogs do not adapt like this for everyone. They do it for attachment figures, for the people their nervous system considers important. That's why rescue dogs often need time before fully syncing with a new owner's lifestyle. Trust comes first, safety comes first, bonding comes first. Then eventually, the dog restructures its emotional rhythm around that person. And once that happens, you stop being someone they live with. You become part of what makes their world feel stable. Your dog feels your stress before you do. Have you ever had one of those days where everything felt heavy, but you didn't say a word to anyone? You walk through the door pretending you're fine. You don't complain. You don't explain anything. And somehow, your dog already knows, before you sit down, before you change clothes, before you even understand your own emotions completely. Your dog is suddenly beside you, watching you differently, following you more closely, lying near you in complete silence. That is not coincidence. Science shows that dogs can detect emotional stress through scent alone. When humans become stressed, the body releases chemical changes connected to cortisol, adrenaline, sweat composition, and emotional pheromones. Humans barely notice these things, but your dog notices almost immediately. And scent is only part of it. Dogs also observe breathing patterns, posture, walking speed, facial tension, eye movement, vocal tone, emotional energy. Most people completely underestimate how observant dogs really are. Your dog watches you constantly, not in an obsessive way, in an emotionally bonded way. After sleeping beside you night after night, your dog develops an emotional baseline for who you normally are. They know how you sound when relaxed, how you move when calm, how your breathing changes when anxious, how your energy feels when something is wrong. That's why emotionally connected dogs often become extremely attentive during difficult periods in their owner's life. Some refuse to leave their owner alone. Some become quieter. Some stare more. Some constantly press against their owner for comfort. And some dogs even become anxious themselves. Because dogs often absorb emotional instability from the people around them. Your emotional state becomes part of their environment. And if that environment suddenly feels unstable, their nervous system reacts to it. That's why dogs often behave differently during grief, depression, arguments, illness, emotional burnout, or periods of heavy stress. They are not imagining it. They are responding to real emotional and biological changes happening around them. And honestly, this is one of the reasons humans feel such a deep connection to dogs in the first place. Because very few creatures pay attention to us this deeply anymore. Your dog notices the version of you that the rest of the world completely misses. When your dog suddenly stops sleeping next to you. And now, we need to talk about something most dog owners completely ignore. A dog that has slept beside you for months or even years does not suddenly stop for no reason. But most people make the same mistake. They assume, maybe my dog just wants more space, maybe. But sometimes, something much deeper is happening. Dogs are creatures of emotional patterns. Once they feel safe somewhere, they repeat that behavior consistently. Especially sleep behavior, because sleep means vulnerability. A dog only sleeps deeply beside someone they completely trust. So when that pattern suddenly changes, you should pay attention. Not panic, pay attention. Sometimes the reason is physical pain, especially in older dogs, joint discomfort, arthritis, digestive problems, hidden illness. Dogs in pain often become quieter before anything else changes. Not dramatic, not obvious, just different. They may start sleeping alone, choosing colder surfaces, avoiding physical pressure against their body. And because dogs instinctively hide weakness, many owners completely miss the signs. That survival instinct still exists inside them. Even the most loved dog in the world still carries ancient instincts saying, hide vulnerability. That's why a sudden change in sleeping behavior should never be ignored. Sometimes, your dog is trying to say, something hurts, without making a sound, but physical discomfort is only one possibility. Sometimes, the environment changed, and humans are terrible at noticing emotional shifts in a home. Dogs are not. Arguments, stress, a new relationship, a new baby, a new pet, changes in routine, different emotional energy. To humans, these things may seem small. To dogs, they can completely change how safe an environment feels. Especially at night, because nighttime amplifies emotional awareness. Everything becomes quieter. Stillness becomes more noticeable, and dogs feel emotional tension immediately. Some dogs stop sleeping beside their owner after stressful experiences. One frightening moment, one loud argument, one emotionally tense period, and suddenly, their nervous system no longer fully relaxes in that space. That does not mean your dog stopped loving you, not even close. It simply means they no longer feel completely settled, and there's a huge difference between those two things. Dogs are emotional mirrors. If your stress levels rise, they feel it. If your emotional energy changes, they absorb it. And over time, some dogs create distance because their nervous system stays alert instead of calm. But here's the beautiful part. When emotional safety returns, many dogs slowly come back too. Not through commands, not through training, through trust. One night, your dog quietly climbs back onto the bed, turns in a circle, lets out a deep breath, and falls asleep beside you again, as if nothing happened. But something did happen. Safety returned, trust returned, calm returned. And if there's one thing worth remembering after all of this, it's this. Your dog was never just sleeping beside you. Every night, they were making an emotional decision. Out of every place in the house, they chose you. Not because they had to. Because deep inside their nervous system, you felt like home. And honestly, that may be one of the purest forms of trust any living creature can give. So tonight, when your dog quietly curls up beside you, pay attention. Notice the breathing. Notice the trust. Notice how completely they relax around you. Because that level of vulnerability is never random. It is earned. And if your dog presses closer in the dark, rests against your back, or falls asleep the moment you touch them, that is not weakness. That is trust in its purest form. Your dog will never explain any of this with words. They can't. So they explain it through behavior instead. Through closeness, through routines, through silent loyalty repeated night after night. And maybe the most beautiful part of all is this. A species separated from humans by thousands of years of evolution still chooses to feel safest beside you while completely asleep. That is extraordinary. Because sometimes, the purest form of love is not loud at all. Sometimes, it is simply a dog choosing to fall asleep next to the person they trust most in the world.